What's up, everyone? It's been a while. Just checking in. We're doing a little interview today on the Black Queer Hippie experience. I got a good friend of mine, Nathan. Well, not a good friend. We just met recently, but I feel like we're gonna be good friends.
I'd say we're good friends, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What's up, dude? Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude. So, let's just go ahead and hop right into it. So we actually originally connected on Grinder, which is hilarious because I was kind of guided to get on Grinder just to be able to support the LGBTQ plus community through my work and through my coaching and my healing work, and just kind of get more visible in that field. Definitely feeling that I could relate to people in that arena, and then came across you, or rather, you came across to me, and instantly you reached out, and we were like looking to collaborate. So I love that energy, love that vibe. So yeah, why don't you just go ahead and tell us about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, so my name is Nathan, and I'm a coming out coach. I live in Escondido, which is in Southern California. And, I spent most of my life working in environmental nonprofits and helping people find value in nature. And, through that process, I was really helping people find the value in themselves. And it really became this pivoting point where I really wanted to focus on helping the LGBTQ community find the value that they bring to the world. Because I think way too often there's this shame and fear that just brings this shadow into us. And it's hard for us to really just show up in the world and contribute the way that we really could if we embraced who we are as a community and as individuals. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now is helping people just find that worth and guiding them through that coming out process. And it's not just like a one-time thing, coming out is kind of a lifelong journey for most people. So yeah.
Yeah, I love how we're how we connected, and you're like the second episode on this. My first episode was all about how I thought that coming out was a little bit overrated, and it's really interesting to hear your perspective. So yeah, would you mind sharing a little bit about your coming out experience? Like what fueled your passion for working with this population?
Yeah, my experience, like many of you guys out there, is I grew up in a very religious household. We were Catholic and then switched to Lutheran, which was basically the same thing. Um, but there's just a lot of pressure. The church would always tell us that, homosexuals are going to hell. And I'm from a big Mexican family as well. So, they're all very religious. And so I grew up just with a lot of shame around it. And finally, when I was 17, I kind of embraced who I was and, started wearing tighter pants and dressing a little more flamboyantly. And, I just really dove into it. But the funny thing is, after I graduated high school, I went back in the closet. And so I've had multiple coming out experiences, at least with my family, like, oh, I'm straight now, I'm bi, okay, I'm gay again, no, I'm straight. And it's just this constant battle. And it wasn't until I finally got in my first relationship that I really just embraced who I was. And I was like, I'm in a gay relationship and this is the person I love.
Mm, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I can definitely resonate with that. Like for me, almost like not feeling the need to come out, but it's like almost awkward when you meet people for the first time. Maybe it's like a new job, you're starting class, and like, yeah, I just can remember times where I would like kind of be shy about it or like not want to say anything because you never know how people are going to react, and it's definitely a challenge sometimes, but
Yeah, and
yeah, go ahead.
I totally relate. You had kind of mentioned that for you coming out was overrated and like you didn't really need to tell people. Is that kind of what you were saying?
Yeah, like in high school, I tried that whole thing. Like I would like sit in a private setting and I'm like, all right, listen guys. Or like I would do like a text message.
Yeah.
It was really weird. And then I was like, this is like so unnatural. Like why do I need to, like my friends already know who I am. Like why do I need to tell them what I'm attracted to? Like for me, I'm attracted to men and women. So it's like, I'm like what's the point, honestly? Like after a while. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I think coming out can definitely like put you in this box that you don't necessarily want to be in. And I think you're right. It shouldn't matter what other people, how they perceive you, right? You just are going to show up who you are every single day, and it shouldn't matter. And I think that's kind of why in my coming out coaching, it's more about getting the person to accept themselves, so that when they show up to work or they show up to social environments, they're not distracted thinking, oh, are they going to know I'm gay? Are they going to think I'm too feminine? Because they love themselves so much that it doesn't matter, right? They're just going to show up exactly who they are. Max, hello? I think I lost you. Uh-oh. I do not hear you.
Maybe even think of it like therapy. So how is what you do different from what other people offer?
Hey, so you cut out just for a second. Could you repeat that question just to
Yeah,
make sure I got everything?
yeah, sorry about that. I was saying just for those people that might be curious as to like what a coaching session would look like. So for some people that may not know what coaching is, or maybe think of it as like therapy. What makes your coaching practice different from other people?
Yeah, well, I think there's definitely a difference between coaching and therapy. And, I would describe coaching as holding yourself accountable and looking into the mirror and answering questions that you're too scared to answer, right? There's all this fear and shame that you don't want to like look within yourself and say, and ask yourself, who am I? And what do I really want? Do I actually believe all these rules from society and culture, all these religious dogmas? Or do I want to live my life as a queer person? And so having a coming out coach is just reminding yourself every week that you're in charge of your life and you can make the decisions however you want. And I think I provide a very safe space to do that. I kind of balanced in how compassionate and loving I am because I've gone through this experience myself and I
Yeah.
know how hard it is. But also I am great at challenging people just by asking those tough questions.
Awesome. Oh, sorry about that. Someone drove by. They
Were
were
they
like,
checking up on you?
yeah, it was like this lady. She's like, are you leaving? You can't stay here. It's private property. I'm like, woman, I'm pulled over on the side of the road. Like, what like, how am I hurting you right now?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Julian.
I know, like, girl, bye. Anyway, yeah, dude. So like, what is your mission? If you could shout something from the rooftops and wanted to like share one message that you could share with like the rest of the world, what would it be?
I would say radiate. And I think what I mean by that radiate is be who you are, be so authentic, so aligned with your truth that you don't have to come out of the closet like you're saying. You're not doing it for other people. You're doing it for yourself because you're just so in touch with what you believe and who you are as a person that it just shines from you and from your personality and the way you show up in the world and contribute.
Wow, I love that, radiate. Yeah, when
Radiate.
you have, I really resonate with that. It's like once you get to that place of peace within, it's like that's a perfect word I would use to describe it. It's like you're radiating that self-love from the inside out, and you're not really giving a fuck about what other people think about you or what they have to say. Um, yeah, that's just so beautiful. So
Yeah, thank you.
how can our listeners get in contact with you? Like, how can we find you? Are you on Instagram? Do you have a website?
Yeah, you can log onto my website at queerconscious.com and find out more about me. If you're interested in coaching, you can go there. Or if you just kind of want to follow my journey and my story, you can follow me on Instagram, and it's Queer Conscious. I'm probably one of the first ones that come up, but yeah, or yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything else you wanted to share with our listeners about your story, about your mission?
No, I mean, I do want to just point out how awesome it was that we met on Grindr, and you know, I truly believe that you attract what you put out into the world, and even though Grindr is a platform set up for quick hookups, if you want genuine connection and you're attracting that, you're gonna find it, and I just think it's awesome that we found each other through there. So yeah.
Dude, yeah, I met my last ex of like 3 years on there. So I definitely, and I've met some really good friends off of there too. So it was really funny too that you mentioned that. Like I remember the exact moment. Like I don't even know why. Like my finger actually I didn't purposefully open Grindr, and then that like right before you messaged me, I was like, oh shit, like I opened the wrong app. And you know how like it'll log you in and like say you're like around the area or whatever. So it was really funny that we were like right down the street from each other, and I accidentally pressed it. And then I looked later, and they like followed me, and like yeah, that was so cool. So yeah, definitely divine inspiration. I'm excited to collaborate with you in the future and see you tomorrow. Actually, we're gonna meet up in person. That's so exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited, and to meet you in person and connect with you on a deeper level. So
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate the work that you're doing for the world. As much as I say that coming out is overrated, I know that it's a very like sacred, like coming of age / rite of passage for people. So I definitely want to respect that. I just have my own personal perspective on it. I'm like, do you, Bubba?
yeah, it's very complicated. So yeah, totally get that.
All right, man. Well, thanks so much. I'm gonna hop off the recording, and then we'll hop on the just talk some more afterwards for you.
All right, thank you.
All right, my pleasure, man. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Catch you next time. Peace.